Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is CJ. Welcome back to Exotic Nootropics. Today we have a different camera setup for you, which actually means I can get into everywhere a lot easier and I can record myself a lot easier, which is going to be interesting for me because I've never done this before. So yeah, let's get into this and we'll see how everything's been growing. As always, we're going to start off with the Nepenthes vivarium. Now this is going to be pretty difficult for me because this camera's got a gimbal built in and everything, so it's going to be tracking kind of strangely. This is very much a vlogging camera, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. But right down here we have a cutting of one of the I don't have a clue if it's focused or not, but this is a cutting of one of the Rebecca Sopas. It has 2 growth points right now. It's got the main one and then the one coming out of the stem. And then next to that, we've got a much bigger Rebecca Sopa, which was cut. Problem with these are they are drying up really quickly. So I watered them yesterday. Today they're completely dry, which is not ideal. Then behind those, we've got the, let's see, I have to come down here. Yeah, the focus isn't ideal, I don't think. But this is the Aristolochioides crossed with Burkei, with the basils coming off it, which you can see down there. Oh god. Yeah, this gimbal's pretty hard to work with. It's moving on its own because it thinks I'm trying to focus on certain things. So there you go, 2 basils right there, and then we've got other pictures growing all over it. It's insane, absolutely insane. Really cool. Then we've got the big Raja Crossvicii. This is the big Raja Crossvicii. Waiting for a new picture on it, actually. We've got these absolutely ginormous leaves. If you look at that leaf, that is crazy big, going all the way up here. So I'm waiting for some big ass pictures, considering the last leaves, you can see how small this one here is. Had a huge freaking picture on it. So if the leaf size is any indication, this picture is probably going to fill the entire enclosure. But we will see. Hopefully it does picture. There's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. And down here we've got this is the EP plant, which is Spatulata crossed with Jacquelineae. Again, up here we've got a big leaf jump. I'm gonna have to focus every time, I think. Big leaf jump, huge leaf. So again, some of the smaller leaves down here, much smaller leaves, have been putting out these pictures. So, I mean, that one there has put out that absolute monster down there, which you can see is moldy inside because it's got insects in it. But that's natural, it's normal. So that's that. Hopefully that comes out with some massive pictures as well. And then next door to that one, we have the complex cross of, see if I can come out with it. This is Raja Burbage Edwardsiana. That's what this is. Which finally, the picture is dying on, which you can't see because of the reflection. But yeah, the picture is finally dying on this. And it's put out what I can only describe as a massive leaf. So again, hoping with the leaf jumps, we're going to end up with some huge pictures here. There's a lot of huge leaves on this now. I mean, it literally goes all over the place, this leaf. All the way down here, it's got something growing on it. See, you can barely see, but yeah, doing really well, really well. In the back over there, if you can, you can actually see better than I ever can. There's a tiny pot, and that is hosting this huge freaking Rebecca Sopa. There's two pots next to each other. There are basils coming all over. If you look down, let's see if you can see. What have we got? It's not going to focus, which is understandable actually in this case. What about that one there? See that basil just growing off there? There's two basils growing off the same stem, and then there's probably another basil growing in the pot. And then the pot next to it has this massive basil that's growing off it. It's almost already a vine. You can see it's like really pushing out. That's the tip of it there. Just right here is the tip of the biggest leaf growth right now. So that basil has gone insane. I definitely need to repot those. Like, it's insane how big they are now. And then in front of those, we've got the Siboyanensis cross-talangensis, which again, is growing pretty well. Actually slowed down a bit, I think, from what I can tell. But we've got some really, really impressive pictures on this. I mean, look at that. Really, really cool pictures. We've also got huge ones coming up, so it's not like it's not growing. I mean, that one's going to be impressive, and it's sticking out as well, so it'll be easy to get to. Down here on the back, you might have seen this one before. We've got a huge picture there. Don't really want to get it out, but massive fat boy. See if we can move the leaves. See that? Huge, really big, which is awesome. So these plants doing really, really well. Oh, and also the basil growth on this is just nuts. There's one basil right there, and look, the pictures on the basil are massive, absolutely massive. It's insane. So yeah, doing absolutely incredible. Only one basil on that plant, but crazy. The pictures all over it. I can actually see 1, 2, 3 pictures, and then a fourth one growing currently on the side of the Rajavicia you see here. So that one will be nice and big. Pictures actually grow bigger when they are sat on a surface. You can see pictures just growing everywhere. They're just growing everywhere. Let me zoom out a bit. Can we get a focus on that? No? No, it doesn't know where to focus. There you go. Pictures just growing everywhere. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Down here, we have the mojito with its huge pictures. See in the back there. Another mojito picture right here. Huge mojito picture. Like, absolutely incredible. And then we've got another one, another leaf just shot out here, which you can see. Absolutely incredible. There's another picture growing on the bottom of that. It's awesome. And then there's another leaf coming off as well. Up here we've got some crazy growth in some of the Drosera. This pot is absolutely overrun now. I cannot tell you what's in it actually, because I don't know. There's literally too many different types of Drosera in it. I think there's Rotundifolia, if that's... Whichever one grows on Dartmoor, I think is the one that's kind of in the bottom there. Ooh. So yeah, I think the one that grows on Dartmoor is there. And then I can't remember the name of that one that's huge in the middle. But honestly, really, really cool. And it's also got another species growing in there. I will have to check to find the names of these. But obviously, as always, Drosera Alicia just doing incredible work, absolutely incredible work. And if it's possible, I can actually show you right there is a pinguicula. Hopefully that is focusing because I can't see. But that's a pinguicula right there. We've had that for a little bit. It was cool when we got it. So hopefully it still looks pretty cool. I looked at it outside earlier. It looked pretty awesome. One of the really important plants for me right now is this Nepenthes Lowii. This is very rare to get it at this size. It costs a lot of money. Probably less than it should have cost, actually, to be honest with you. But this is now the most important plant in the entire room by a long way. You can see some of the leaves have died off in the past couple of weeks. This came from a greenhouse that obviously was outside and it was winter, so it is warmer in this room and it's a lot brighter. It's not getting periodic sun, it's getting light all day that's artificial. So my assumption is it's dropping these leaves. You can see the black on this leaf here. It's dropping these leaves because it needs to adapt to the new enclosure. I'm not worried about it right now. I was worried to start with, but I think we're going to be okay with this. I think the new leaf is going to come out, and it's going to push a new node, and it'll be awesome. But yeah, this plant is now the most important in the room, and I really need to be careful with how I do this. I really hope it does not die, because it is just so rare to have one this size. It's crazy. We have our Berberger right next to it, which is, I think, doing better now it's in here. We've got a jamban down there, which is struggling, not doing well. I've never done well with jambans, so hopefully that survives. It does have new growth on it, so hopefully it's fine. On the left here, we've got our Berberger crossed with Cantlii, with its massive, massive leaves now, doing really awesome stuff. Right here, we've got our Brigsiana, which you can see below these leaves, doing really, really well. And next to that is another Brigsiana, actually. And if I go over here, I think you hopefully will be able to see a picture. Yes, you can. See if we can focus in on that. I think that's focused. Nice big picture coming off the Brigsiana now. This basically gives me real hope for that Lowii that's right next to my hand right now. Because if Brigsiana's doing well, that's got a heavy Lowii influence on it. So the Lowii should hopefully pull through its change from a greenhouse. This plant right here is a Densiflora crossed with something. I'll have to put it on screen for you. The picture on it that's coming up is absolutely massive. I love the pictures on this plant. They are so unique, it's incredible. It hadn't pictured for a while, so clearly it likes this enclosure. It does have a nice drop at night, so it's really awesome to see that. I can't wait for that to get full size. Then next to that, we have the big Cebuyanensis, of course. So this is taking up most of the enclosure. It's a big old vine. Was struggling before, so hopefully now it's doing okay. You can see tendrils coming off it all over the place. So I'm really hoping that it's going to start picturing very soon. Obviously I can't actually get in very well to see how well it's doing, but it does seem to be doing better than it was, that's for sure. And I just noticed actually on this Lowii we do have another tendril coming, and it looks like it's alive, so that's awesome. That should be really cool. So great sign there. Right here we've got an Aloe suprafoliata. It's actually growing really, really well. It's one of the first cacti that we got. Obviously dragon fruit was the first, but this is so it's called a buck cactus, something like that, and it's growing really, really nicely. So I just thought I'd show this off because it's perked up quite a lot. It was a little bit sad when it got here. You can see new growth in there as well. So we all know that in here are the big boys. Obviously Lowii currently the biggest boy in the whole collection. It is definitely the most important plant right now. Absolutely nothing tops the Lowii. Just too rare, way too rare at that size. One thing I do want to point out is this truncata. It is growing really nicely. It has an awesome picture coming up on it, and it's pictured really nicely as well next to it. Then we've got the Hamata right next to it. Doing really well, the Hamata. We actually have another Hamata picture coming right here, you can see. So doing very nicely, which is awesome. The Alba Marginata clumping up. No vines or anything yet, but making a lot of pictures, which is cool. The green Alba Marginata finally recovered enough to start picturing, which is awesome. So now we've got a red one next to a green one. So it's really, really cool. Next to that, looking super, super healthy, is this Jacquelinie, which has it's putting up a picture over there, and it's got a picture currently down here as well. Right here is our Bicalcarata. It took some serious recovery, but now it has pictured. You can't really see the picture. There's no teeth on it anyway, so there's no point in really showing you. And right below that is our Raja. So that's pure Raja, doing really, really, really well. Next to those, we've got an Attenborii, which again, doing really well. Not sure it's got any pictures alive on it right now. Oh, it does, it's got one. You can see it just there. So one live picture right now. Then, yeah, right next to that, we've got another Attenborii. A little bit more impressive, more pictures. Had it for longer. Doing really well. Again, really expensive plant. Attenborii, Raja, all expensive. The Edwardsiana doing really well, even though it's a baby. It's actually growing really well. I'm quite happy with that. Not killed it yet, which is a massive achievement. I thought a baby like that would be really, really hard to keep alive, but it's been doing really well. This is the Veitchii Grex 2. Again, growing really well. Got new pictures coming up on it. You've seen this before, so I won't go over it too much, but incredible plant. Whatever the hell this thing is, has put out an absolute monster of a picture. Really cool. I don't know what it is though, so I don't know what it should look like, but it's been picturing really well since it's been put in here, which, yeah, I'm really happy with that. Likewise, this plant over here, which is this one, has put up a new picture. Its other picture is really interesting anyway, because it's bright red. I'm not sure what this plant is. You can see there must be some sort of Veitchii in it, just from the striping on the peristome, but I don't 100% know. It's also got the Veitchii like hairs on it. Whatever the hell this thing is, continues to grow just incredibly well. If you look here, we've got a new picture coming up on it. I don't know what it is. I seriously don't have a clue what it is. And it confuses me every single day. But it's doing so well. It's nutty. It's absolutely nutty. One other thing that's doing really well is the Hamata crossed with Platykyla. Look at that. Really impressive pictures now. Putting up pictures all over the place. You've got the two here. There's one over there in the back, which you can see. See if we can zoom in on that. We can, look at that. It's just doing really well. Even though it's growing completely sideways off the pot, it's really impressive. It is doing so well. I'm very happy with it. And then here we've got the Platykyla, which was struggling. But now it's in this environment, it seems a lot happier. You can see there's new growth coming on it, which is really nice. And there's actually a tendril coming up over here, which is going into the pot next door to it. So hopefully something will grow off that. Along with those, we've got this Spectabilis, which again was struggling, but as of recent, it has been putting up this monster picture, and I mean monster picture. It's huge. You can't really see the scale of it right now, but maybe if I put my hand by it, it's a big old picture, that. So really looking forward to seeing that grow. There's a bit of an update on the jungle that's under the table. We've got dumb cane, we've got pile of palms, there's even there's a banana plant in here. If I where are you looking? It's incredibly hard for me to know where you're looking because it just seems to look wherever it wants. This camera's not, I don't think we're going to make another video with this camera. It's not good. It's an extremely expensive camera as well, and it's just terrible. At least it's terrible at doing this. It's really meant for vlogging. So right there, big banana plant. It's got lots and lots of basils on it, and likewise there's another pot next to it with lots of basils of banana plants as well. over here, you can see right there, we have more pile of palm seeds. So we'll have even more pile of palms being grown. Our last ones haven't started sprouting yet, so I wouldn't be too hopeful. Next to that, we've got lots and lots of these purple passions. There's lots of purple passions in this room. There's some in the greenhouse, there's some here. It's just, they're all over the place. So in addition to all of that jungle, down here we have, I wanted the gimbal, not the zoom. We have baby spider plants, lots and lots and lots of baby spider plants. Just all over the place, baby spider plants. They're all growing really well. Some of them starting to get those brown tips, which is not great. It's basically under and over watering. So currently struggling through that one at the moment. And again, in the corner, even more purple passions. Just lots and lots and lots of purple passions all over the place. Since this whole video is being a bit of a nightmare anyway, I thought I'd do an update on the baby Nepenthes. These are all grown from seed. So we've got lots and lots of growth in here, which is awesome. These have been growing for a while now. They're getting bigger. I can see pictures coming up on them, but you won't be able to see that on this. There's absolutely no way it will zoom to that extent. There's more in here. These are all different types of Nepenthes, but they're probably going to end up... oh, well, we'll see. There is an update coming, which you may find out. Even more there, and then in this pot we've got even more again. They're all different types of Nepenthes. And there's one last thing I wanted to show you, and that is the frog enclosure. And this frickin' Orbifolia has taken over completely. Look at the covering of that. This is exactly why it was put in here. It's an insane plant, and obviously the frogs love it. I mean, look, you can see the frogs right there chilling on it. Another frog up here chilling on it. They really love it, and I love it as well, because it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, which was just fill the entire enclosure. So very cool, very, very cool. This is kind of how their environment would be. And there's still bromeliads and stuff down the back, like you can see the crickets on it right now, but there's bromeliads and there's other plants as well in here. But the main attraction is this Calathea Orbifolia. Just absolutely incredible plant, just going all over the place. And the frogs clearly love it. And the big thing is that it holds their weight, even though they're big frogs. Absolutely holds their weight, no problem. Doesn't it? Yes, it does. Right, well, that concludes this video, and I'm sorry it's been a bit of a struggle with this camera. There's no way of me making it easier with this camera, so I'm probably going to go back to the other camera setup for this. This camera wasn't actually bought for this, although it did have this in mind. It will be good for POV videos, so when potting up stuff in greenhouses and things like that, so you can actually see. That's what this camera will be great at, and hopefully the microphone's good as well. I don't know. It's like a package bundle thing. So we shall see. It should be a good mic. It's got good reviews, and the camera's also got good reviews. So we'll see what the focus is like. The screen's too small for me to know what the focus is actually like, but it's been a real struggle. So hopefully this video comes out okay. I mean, you got to try new things every now and then, right? But anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name has been CJ. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.